Hey guys, welcome to another episode of ItsAllRealiTV.
It's all relative!
I'm your host Joe of the Bro Scouts here with a very special episode for episode 7 all the way here in Hanuakai, Maui. I just can't get enough Survivor. I had to bring it with me and I had to get another episode out to you guys. And this one was well worth lugging all the stuff here. Now, it's going to be a little bright on one side. I'm going to be a bit of two-faced here.
And smiles, another day of wine and roses.
Simply because it is so bright here. Like, this isn't like Vancouver weather where it's the rain city and everything like that. So it's something for me to get used to a little bit, especially like I'm going to be two-faced right here and some parts of me you can't see. So we'll deal with it as it comes. Alright, so we're going to start off with episode 7 called I Will Destroy You.
Will destroy you.
Very interesting that it's number 1 called this, just because that's one line that Taylor says in this episode, but has absolutely no reference to how this game is gonna, or how this episode plays out. Anyways, I don't really like it. I don't think it works. I think it's quite stupid. But we start off this episode with just how it ended off last time, as usual, at the Takali tribe after just their vote out of Figgy, and Adam and Taylor just immediately start talking with each other. Adam's just saying like, yeah, I screwed you, blah blah blah. I put you in this position. It's like, yeah, you did. Do you really have to say that to every single person after you cut their legs out from under them? No, just do what you're doing, own your game, but you know what, don't really look for a whole lot of, I'm sorry, blah, blah. Just say, I'm not sorry for what I did. I was not on the high totem pole for your plans, and I had to make plans for myself. He made the right move of getting Figgy out. He says it was a lose-lose either way he went. That's not true. That is really not true in this kind of thing. But Taylor is out for blood. He's a shark that is just preying on a seal right now, licking his lips, saying, I will destroy you. But the problem is that hate going to be motivation, or is it going to be blindness? And come the merge, how is that going to affect him? Because he needs to wait for his guns to come in with Jay or something, is at a merge situation. Is it going to be motivation in the sense like how Natalie was with Caramone when she was just waiting idly just to get back after she got blindsided when they started taking out her own teammates? But also, it's Taylor. You gotta take him with a grain of salt a little bit because he's not the smartest or the brightest crayon in the box at all. So now we jump to Vanua, and it goes right straight for David's paranoia, where he wants Michelle out. She's the one that's going to gun for him, obviously. And he doesn't want to have to use his idol if he doesn't have to. He's always constantly thinking, which is something I do appreciate about his game. But he did something actually that sometimes it never works out, but I think in this case it does. He shows Zeke his idol. Zeke, I think, genuinely actually likes David. I think he finds him probably endearing, pretty funny. He was a comedian writer. So, I mean, that's a good move to go, and especially he probably has Chris in his back pocket. He needs to get his numbers so when it comes down to it, he can get Michelle out. So, good move, David. And he's making great strides in his strategic and social game. Not necessarily in challenges. He's still utterly, utterly pathetic when it comes to that. But speaking of a challenge, we jump right into a reward challenge, which is great. That means we're going to have 2 challenges this episode. And it immediately goes to Michaela just dropping a bye Felicia moment.
Bye, Felicia.
Gets it all, the cat out of the bag, saying, you say things that you're supposed to say and not what you mean. And that goes the flip side of what she said last episode of being, hey, we got some people on there that they should be able to get Gen Xers. No, she wants Figgy out. She's always wanted Figgy out. So, ballsy move to say, also very hilarious. This reward is actually really sweet. So it means that the winning tribe is going to get a personal chef that comes to their camp and is going to feed them basically endless amounts of great food. So that's always great at this point, just to make sure you're going to get that energy. And then the second place people do get kebabs. So that's also great because it still gets you protein, still gets you the vitamins and minerals that you need to keep pushing. Okay, so we start off with the challenge. Ikabula gets off to a really great start thanks to Jay. Jay's making strides as well. Not on the flip side, he's a physical threat, but he also seems very strategic and loyal. Very aware player. But he gets them off to a good start. But then, Ken, being my Ken doll, just comes in and always saves the day for Takali, going in there and then makes strides. But as we started doing the weird part where you start throwing the coconut or ball, I guess, into that dome that flies down through the ramp into the netting area, Chris just kills it. Oh my gosh, is he a Terminator? Like, what the heck is with him? He is unflipping believable in challenges. He's gonna have to be the first one out in a merge unless you are on his side and want to use him as a meat shield. But if I wasn't in his lines, he's the first person I would gun for. And because of Chris, Vanua wins. Vanua wins, which is super awesome. I love the fact that they won. And then second is Ikabula Virus, thanks to Michaela. And you know what? She's going to be taking heat for this. Like, she is going to be the one to beat if you give her some strides and some breathing room. She's got to stop taking so much reins on certain bits, not be such a leader, or that's going to screw her over. And you know what? She's a very entertaining player, so it would be kind of stupid or unfortunate to see her go so early. We go to Vanua, and we see the chef lays out actually like a pretty good spread for them. It's not like something that in a lot of challenges where it's like you don't have to spend a lot of money on production and everything because, you know, they haven't eaten and everything. The meal actually looked really good, and David made a good point. It's like that is something I would see in LA that I would take like a good date to or something like that. Seems great. And it is an Outback Steakhouse. God damn, there's so much Outback Steakhouse when it comes to this thing. But Zeke just keeps eating like a food conveyor belt. It's quite entertaining. I really hope he doesn't get in a situation kind of like Joe last season, where he ended up having to get pulled because he ate too much. Which is pretty funny when you're starving yourself, but I guess when you're in starvation mode, your body's just like, what's going on here? I can't deal with it. Takali, though. It goes to Takali. Are they underestimating Taylor is the big question. They keep thinking that. So Taylor goes up to them and tells them basically Adam screwed them over, blah 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 blah, that he isn't trustworthy, that he told them that he would never write Thiggy or his name down. I don't recall him ever saying something like that, but I mean, in the heat of the moment, you got to say what you need to in order to survive. And then he shakes hands with Ken and Jessica, and you know, they keep saying, oh well, like he's not that smart. When you talk strategy with him, it just blows over his head, blah blah blah. Again, we're having a Fabio situation where this guy kind of looks like Fabio in a little way. Very good when it comes to challenges. Good social player, but isn't known for his strategics. But that's still a potential player to win. So don't underestimate him, or don't count him out just yet. Because there has been a lot of more blindsides as far as the winners winning. Like, for example, a lot of people didn't expect the last winners of Michelle. So, I mean, suck on that, right? Ikabula tribe, this Ikabula virus player, Michaela, has the audacity to say that she is relating herself to Steve Jobs and Michael Jordan. Yeah, she relates herself to those people because of intensity and everything. I mean, anyways, moving on. We go to Hannah, and she is super suspicious of Brett. And I mean, this is the first time I've actually seen Hannah be a bit aware on some things. Like, we go way back to, I think it was the second episode, where she basically sees David looking for the idol and just like, oh hey, and just brushes things off. Like, and this time she's actually paying attention, where her conversations with Brett, she is kind of saying, I don't think he's a funeral director. I think he's a cop. He's a police sergeant. Good call, Hannah Banana, the Hanimal. Like, at least you're being aware and you're showing that you do have signs of life in this game. You have a pulse. So, I mean, hats off to that one. Okay, we're here. We're at the challenge for immunity. This is for all the bananas, all the fixins. I mean, these challenges seem to repeat themselves. Not in the case on the whole grand scheme, but they always reuse certain areas. I like it when they start using new ideas, and this one, it really wasn't using it. But Michelle caused her tribe to ultimately hold up, and I was like, oh no, are they going to lose? Because how this built up was for the previews last episode was that it was going to be David trying to get Michelle out. So I'm like, oh no, are they going to lose or something like that? But I mean, we we get it where my man Kendall wins it for Takali. Way to go. You knocked down all of those planks. Good for you. And then Chris, the beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar, F5 everything, and just got the second immunity for Vanua, which means Ika virus. You guys have had some antibiotics because you got your first loss. That is amazing. I'm super stoked to see what happened, because based on the edit and everything, it didn't seem like Ikabua was set to lose at all. Like, they were just run and train, and on the previews, it didn't really show anything going on. So, hats off, producers. Thank you for surprising us a little bit. Initial thought is, Brett's gotta go. Well, not gotta go, but it's just like what everyone thinks. It's like, yeah, Brett's the easy vote. We'll get him out. We think he's lying. He doesn't really gel. We are a strong 4 on those two Gen X. Why not? Let's make it easy on this case. Keep our unit strong for when we go into the merger. But Michaela thinks that she's doing something smart by collecting her 4 peeps together of millennials, bring them all together, and let's just talk out strategy. And let's do it like a football field where we have eggshells as Gen Xers, rocks as this, and start pinning out everything and then showing them a game plan. Everyone starts, wheels and cogs starts turning and realizing, holy shit, she's got plans and plans. And she's got like shells and all this stuff. So Jay gets freaked out and says she should go, has an epiphany on this whole thing, and grabs Will. And then Will gets screen time for the first time in a long time. Like, I think it was since first episode that we've actually even heard him speak. He has a voice. You have a spine. Oh my gosh. But the big question: if you vote for her and she gets catches off on the wind, like the farts that you're blowing, if she can smell what you're throwing. Will she play that idol? Will she? I don't know. Will she? But we jump straight to tribal. It says, like, we don't see any further build up, any further talk between the other two Gen Xers and like Will and Jay. How is this going to pan out? And then Will shines us some insight on why the guns blazing Tony Valcho's style and the idea of voting blocks might not be the best strategy to go. Good job, Will. Voting blocks are stupid. Get some loyalties. Get some strength. Good boy. That's my boy. You're my boy, Blue. You're my boy. But then he says, we expect to have a tribe of 5 strong, trustworthy players. So are we getting rid of Brett? That's what it seems like. But we get to the votes. The votes. No idols used. 2 votes for Brett. And 3 votes for Michaela. Oh my gosh! What a blindside. And she turns straight to Jay going, what? Like, she is blindsided. Hannah has no idea what's going on. She, yet again, is on the bad side of the votes. Major blindside. In my opinion, first major blindside. Like, this one I actually didn't see coming based on how the edit goes. It was just like in the last 5 minutes you're like, oh shit, I think she's going. And it's too bad because she is such like a powerful player, someone with a strong personality and attitude. But unfortunately, that gets a lot of people out, is your strong personality, unless you know for a fact that you have these people are like peons and they don't have like a mind of their own. Fortunately, Jay and Will have heads on their own. Maybe not Will. Jay. Jay has a head on his shoulders. Yeah. So we're going to cut to scenes. We get the merge. It looks like probably like day 21 or something like that. That's pretty average for when the merger happens. But based on, especially with Michaela going, it spreads out a lot of possibilities on how things are going to go. There's no real, in my opinion, definitive strong alliance that's going to carry itself to the end. It might be a voting block style, because we've developed small chunks of trustworthy things that Nuke built based on the tribal switch, and will those cross back over with other things that they had before the tribe switch? We'll see. But Taylor's not the only one that wants revenge. The Hannibal Lecter wants revenge. Will she get it? Tune in next time on Survivor. Thoughts on the merge, though? Taylor and Jay are going to link back up. Like, I mean, they are bros, and that's the first thing Taylor's going to go back to is his ride or die type of dude that isn't Figgy, and he saw that in Jay early on. Like, they were linked up before Figgy, so that's going to happen, and that's pretty good news because he does have Will, so there is 3 there. But what did they say to both Brett and Sunday? Are they going to be able to bring in someone in that case, bring those 5 and be 5 strong in that case, and then maybe Chris will come back? Like there is, or even Adam and Taylor's going to have to swallow the bullet for now. Who knows? But there's a lot of things up in the air because Chris might have allegiances to Zeke now. How is this going to go? There's a lot more voting blocks than we think. But initial reaction though is Brett and Sunday are in trouble just because now they're relying on people to come to them. Like they're just a two pair. Basically they're a pair of 2s at a poker table, and they're hoping that they can link up with 3 aces to have a full house. But will that happen? I actually don't have high hopes for those 2. I think they're going to be slim pickings, easy. But you know what? If I was smart, I would be the first person to jump on them and just gain them as my bottom 2 players because they're easy ones to scrap out. And they're not really huge threats as far as immunity challenges go. Alright, it's that time, guys. Who is the player of the week? And it's pretty damn simple. It is going to my boy Jay. Jay has pushed a lot of strides, showing that he's very personable and, you know, very aware in this game, and how he just, on the dime, blindsided Michaela shows he's here to play. I'm really excited to see how his game progresses. Players that are in a tough spot, Hannah. I mean, she was able to see and observe Brett and see that, yeah, she was right, that he is lying and that he is a police officer. However, you were not able to observe or your players turning their back on you, and now you have nowhere really to go in right now. So let's see who she clinches onto in the next episode. And I think that's the biggest thing that we're going to leave off with is Hannah going to be able to find a new clique? And I unfortunately don't think so. But let me know what you guys think. Put it in there in the comment section. Until then, I mean, the World Series is on right now, Game 7. I got to go and watch it. Go Cubs, go. Subscribe and stay tuned for the next episode. All right. See you later, everyone.